All right, welcome to the next level. Got a special guest with us today, Mallory Kroos. How we doing, Mallory?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Thanks for coming up. We're going to talk about something that I think is vital to selling insurance, and I also think it's something that isn't talked about enough. So, one part of insurance is going out and selling the policies, but the big piece is making sure they stick, making sure they stay on the books. Because I say to my clients, if I put you in something that doesn't fit your budget and I leave here and you cancel it, I did you a disservice. And now we're back to square one where you don't have life insurance. Now, from the agent standpoint, now I owe the carrier money because we get paid in advance. So persistency is huge. A lot of agents, what you see is they get going. Maybe they're doing things the wrong way. They end up getting some chargebacks, and then persistency becomes important, right? And now they're trying to fix that, which you can do. You raise your hand because does that sound like your story a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of our stories.
Yeah.
And we do so much work just to get that one sale or
Right.
2 sales a day or whatever you're at right now. And you have to realize what you tend to think when you're new is you made the sale, you helped the family,
Yep.
and your job is done.
It's done, yeah.
And my upline, I'll never forget, she said, "Oh, you think you just made the sale and that's all you have to do?
Right.
What's wrong with you? Are you stupid?" Like,
Yeah.
that's the beginning of the job. And so it's a lot when you're new to take that all on. So if you're going through that, that's okay. Just what I did at the beginning of this year was I reset and I put some systems in place and I created a new system for myself. And I actually saw my persistency increase just from the beginning of this year.
Really?
Yes.
What was it prior to this year?
So I don't know the exact numbers, but it was definitely not what it was, and I know that just because I was getting a lot of chargebacks.
Okay, that was my next question. How'd you know it was bad?
They were it's like you would write a policy, and then the next day someone would call and say, "Yeah, I talked to my sister, and I don't want it anymore."
Right.
And I'm like, I spent 2 hours helping this person. I put a lot of love and energy. I really cared. I really tried to. The worst is when you take them to multiple carriers.
Yeah.
And then they still cancel, and you're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yep.
So instead of just blaming on the client, I looked at myself and I'm like, what can I do better? How can I increase my persistency? And I have seen an increase in it. Do you want me to go into what to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So the main thing is you have to understand that most of us are closing people over the phone.
Right.
And they don't know you. They get kind of swept away in the conversation. They trust you. And then they get, you get the sale and you think, yay me. And then they get off the phone and then they're alone. You're not there anymore to hold their hand. And then they start thinking all the negative things.
Right.
I'm going to get scammed. What kind of policy is this? And they tell their family, oh, I just got a policy. And what does their family say? You didn't need that.
Yep.
Oh, I'll pay your mortgage if you die. Oh, whatever. Families will tell all that stuff. And I know because they've told me what they say. And so you can only control so much. You can't be there when they have that conversation with friends or family or when they start having those negative thoughts. But what you can do is operate as a true professional. And what you're doing is communicating to them that I am legit. The insurance I just wrote for you is legit. And I have a legitimate process.
Right.
So this is how you do it. After you... I'm going to back up.
Yeah, you need to take a. We
So,
can cut all that.
no, I just had to. I'm so sorry. I'm not usually like this.
All good.
Literally have a cold. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. After you make that sale, after you write that policy, as soon as you get off the phone, you're going to download that application. You're going to have a folder on your computer that says Clients 2024, or for next year, Clients 2025. You're going to save that application, last name, comma, first name, app, A-P-P, application. You do that immediately. You now have a copy of that application in your files, which you should have anyway.
Right.
Then I have a form already made up on my computer in my Word documents that has my heading. It looks very official. It has all the different carriers. And then I simply, at the end of the day, I'll take that application. I put in which carrier they went to, what their monthly premium was, what the coverage amount was, the length of the coverage, everything bit by bit. It's usually like 6 lines. I save, it has all my contact information. It says what to expect next. I save that as a PDF in that same folder. At the end of the day, I would send that over to them in email. Why is this important, and why do so many people skip this? Because when you send that, that's reinforcing to them, okay, this person didn't just, like, this wasn't some fly-by-night scam call. This is legitimate. This person took the time to send this to me. I see my application with the carrier, and now they have a copy of it. They can't say later, you never sent me anything, or I didn't do this, or people are crazy. I've had people literally tell me that they didn't get insurance with me, and I'm like, well, this Aetna application asks what your mother's maiden name was. It's Thompson. Oh, yeah, well, how would I know that if you didn't tell me? So things happen. Things get crazy. You want to CYA. We all know. Should I say what that means? Yeah. Cover your ass.
Yeah.
You've got to cover your ass. You should record your calls if you can do that. But sending that email that same day shows, I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm a professional. I'm legitimate. Another thing I do is I use a website called Postable.com. You can use any website to send, any service out there that sends a postcard. Or you can even just do it yourself, send your business card with a letter. The reason I do Postable is because I said I was going to send the business card with a letter and sign it, and I never did. You get back up, you miss a few, you have to catch up. If you make it a system, I literally just type the address in, and then it sends them a postcard. They're going to get that within like 3 days, and it costs like $1, to show. Right. And the thing is, a lot of our clients are older. They don't know how to find your phone number and your name in their phone. It's gone. Yeah. They'll never find it. Send them the postcard. Now they've got your name, a nice picture, your business, and now they're like, okay, this person was legitimate. Since I've started doing things, my persistency has gone up. My 6-month persistency with Americo, I should say, where I write most of my business, has been in the 90%, and my 12-month has been in the high 70s%. Wow. So it'll go up and down, but it stays in that general area. And so I've seen it increase gradually since I started doing this. Another thing you can do is call them at the 2-week mark. Hey, did you receive your policy? Now, I'll be honest, I outsource this. Okay. I don't do it anymore. I have a dialing team that does this at the end of the day, and then they'll touch in with them after 2 weeks. Most times they don't get them on the phone, but even a voicemail says, I care. Right. I care about you. I want to make sure. That's better than 6 months down the road, I never received my policy, which does happen. Yeah. People call you 6 months later, and I'm like, you're telling me now? And they're mad at you. So those are things that you can do to increase your persistency. You will see an uptick in your numbers, and track that.
Was there anything you changed in the presentation itself? Because I feel like a lot of times persistency starts there. Like, just because you close that appointment doesn't mean you close it the right way, right? Yes. Because of just the way sales work. I mean, you got someone, they're excited, they're ready to you find something that fits their budget. Like, some of the worst clients for me were the ones that you didn't have to do much work. Yeah. And you almost, a lot of times you skip the small things. Like, I don't need to go over everything with this guy because he's so into it. Those are the ones that cancel.
Exactly. Yeah. It's easy come, easy go.
Absolutely.
You get them easy, and then they call you the next day. Yeah, I don't want it anymore. Because they were either trying to people please and just do what you wanted them to do, or who knows what the heck. But yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah. I forgot your question.
Oh, did you change anything in your presentation that also helped your persistency?
I actually did. So I call it Cement the Sale. This is something I learned from my upline, and then I've kind of morphed it into my own thing. And I've even had my agents watch me close live. They watch all my appointments. I always joke that they probably hear me in their dreams.
So you went from being the one who wouldn't get on camera, and now they're watching you close.
Literally every presentation I've done since probably October of last year, so a full year, I have done live on Zoom.
Every single one?
Every single one. Wow. I swear.
That's awesome.
There were some where I had to get on Zoom and they weren't watching. I'd say 95%.
Yeah. That's awesome.
95%, most of them, the vast majority. But I always say that they probably hear me in their nightmares closing policies because they hear me doing it all the time. But some of my agents have said, oh my gosh, your closing Cement the Sale is so long. It's just so long. And I'm like, yeah, that's why my persistency's good, and you're losing clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's long. And yeah, they want me to shut up. And yeah, the client doesn't want to hear it. But I will say it, and I say it proudly, and I say it confidently, because I know if I say this at the end, it shows I care. Mm-hmm. I'm a professional, and I don't want them to forget it. Because if you don't say it, they're going to get off the phone and say, hey, where's my policy? It didn't come in yet. Or, oh, what's my premium? Or they're gonna doubt you, and they're going to think you scam them. So I take the time. I have a script I use, which I don't have with me right now, but I literally go through every little part. Hey, you're going to get your policy in 2 weeks, 7 to 10 business days. If you don't get it, please give me a call back. Call me at this number. You're going to get a postcard. It'll have my number. Let me know so I can fix it. Never hesitate to reach out to me. I want to help you. I'm here to serve you and your policy for life. I say all this stuff. And then at the end, I'll say, are there any more questions? Is there anything I didn't go over? And they say it every time like clockwork. They're like, no, you were pretty thorough. You went through everything, which is, i.e., shut up. I want to get off the phone now. But I don't care. I don't care if they want to get off the phone. This is the one opportunity I have to really tell them everything to expect. And I get less cancellations. I get less next day cancellations and 2 day later cancellations. So I have that script. I can send it if people want it. They can reach out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to send that because I don't have it here in front of me. But all those little things really add up, and it really just comes across to the client that you care, you're professional. If you're the person that just sells and then wants to duck out and just get your commission, you're going to get charged back.
Right. Absolutely.
You've got to really look at it. I would say at least 2 weeks out, and then even after that, it's good. A lot of chargebacks I heard happen at the 6 month mark or after 6 months. Not a bad idea to send I know some of the other agents at my agency do a 6 month check-in. Yeah. And they send a postcard. And then that helps with your 6 to 12 month persistency.
Absolutely. It's funny, Alex Valencia,
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of when I said that.
Well, he was up here, I think maybe a year ago. And I use it almost every day, a cloth of his to clean my glasses. And it's like little things, like what's it cost? 50 cents maybe?
Yeah.
And then he sends him a pen. It's like a stylus I have that on my desk as well. But it's these little things, a few bucks here and there. So like if you're not in the industry, the reason why this is so important is we set up agents on Advaned Commission. So Mallory sits down with me or calls me up, sells me a policy. I make one payment and you get paid based off of the first 9 months of premium. You get that advance to you. So if the payment, is let's call it $100, right? You times that by 10, you got, $1,200 for the year. So getting 80% of that advanced, you're going to get $700, $800 paid to you day one. But here's the kicker. If I cancel my policy, any month of premium I haven't paid, Mallory now owes the insurance carrier. Because it's essentially, you should look at your commissions as a loan, not as it's not a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not a W-2. You worked your 40 hours, you got paid. They can't take it back. This is a loan based off of you setting up this policy for 15, 30 years if it's a term or life if it's whole life. It's not you get paid once because you got them to sign the contract. Your job is to keep this on the books.
And the thing is, chargebacks are going to happen.
Sure.
Just like I think about, like Target, they're going to get returns.
Yep.
Stores get returns. People do regret purchases. It's kind of a normal human behavior. However, I would say and you can tell me, but I would say if your chargeback is higher than 10, maybe 15%, you have a problem.
Absolutely.
You can tighten that up.
Yep.
And the thing is, once you put a system in place, it doesn't feel like extra work. It's just something you do, and it's saving you money. And you can hire someone to help, get your kids to help, find somebody that can help you if you're exhausted at the end of the day.
Yep.
I did this for a while, and then I outsourced it out to I have VAs that do it now. But it's such an easy thing, and literally I just download that application, fill in a few things, and send it to them. And when my clients call me, I answer. Mm-hmm. When I always say, hey, I'm on the phone a lot. If you have a question, just shoot me a text. Say, hey, it's Barbara. I need help with my policy. I always say, you're not bothering me. I want to help you. And that's just conveying that care. Now, you're still going to get crazies and Lulus that are going to cancel and call you the devil. Yep. But I know at the end of the day where my heart is, and I just try to communicate that care to each client.
Absolutely. And you think about from a financial standpoint, what would adding another even 5% to your persistency do? 10%. How much more would you make in the long run? And then how many more clients would be protective? Like everybody wins. And we're talking for a few minutes of extra work, a couple dollars. I mean, what is it? You send out the business card. What's it cost you?
I send out the postcard. I think it's $1 to $2.
$2? Yeah. So would you
not spend? You could probably find a free one.
Sure. But would you not spend $2 to save $800 or to keep $800?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple little steps, and it goes back. I say this all the time on our training. It all goes back to you. So if you're having trouble with your persistency, the beauty about it is you can fix it because you're the one that caused the damn problem in the first place.
You absolutely can. Yeah. And it's never too late to set up new systems. In this business,
Right.
you're constantly going to be evolving. You're going to be fixing the leaks. That's just part of being a business owner. And that's what really differentiates the salesperson, the person trying to make a quick buck, and the person that's really growing a business and sees himself as a business owner. There's a clear line there that you cross.
Right.
You know, once you start making money and then you're like, how can I keep more of this money? Now you're a business owner.
Absolutely.
Now you're trying to fix those leaks. Another tip I would give you that I didn't used to do, which I can't believe this, is go through your commission statement and see who's charging back
Right.
and call them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times if they missed a payment or their policy lapsed, it's just because something that can be fixed. It's a conversation you can have, and they go, no, I do want my policy, but they didn't take it out on this day or that day. Fix it, get them back on the books.
Right.
You know?
I think the issue, though, like I remember being there. Now, we were all in the field, so we would run Saturday, Sunday. Sunday nights, me and Sean would be at the office till midnight scrubbing applications, like paper apps. We'd leave them on the assistant's desk. She'd scan them and send them off. But I hated Monday mornings early on because we were doing it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So what would happen Monday mornings, Mallory, is my phone would be ringing off the hook, not in a good way. I don't want that. Please can't, like, I'm like, holy shit. I wrote like 20 apps and like only 5 of them, like some of them already been sent, you know, and so you dreaded that call from the agent.
And it makes you start thinking negatively
Absolutely.
about the business. Like, oh, is this, what am I doing? They don't even want this. But yeah, you can fix that.
Right. And you're talking about the ones that call and or the ones that fall off and maybe don't even know it. So I would be apprehensive to even look at that because I'm so conditioned. Everyone just wants to cancel.
Yeah.
But you start calling them, and a lot of times I got a new bank account. I didn't know how to change it, or they took it out on the wrong day. A lot of times they want it, but because you're so conditioned to think, oh, my God, everything's so bad, you don't even want to look at it. Look at it. I promise you there's a lot in there that you can save. And it falls
Probably
on
like
you.
a third of it,
Absolutely.
I would say. Some people are like, I found something better. I don't want this. But a lot of people are like, no, I want it. And I'll say, okay, can we fix this now? Yeah, absolutely. Get them on the bank line. You can. That's $1,000 in 5 minutes from a phone call.
Yep.
So take the time to review that and just make it a system. Like maybe every Monday morning you go through your commission statements for the week. I tend to do it if someone missed an appointment, that's when I'll pull up my commission statement, see, and give them a call. And I mean, I've saved myself. And I just started doing that this year. I used to not even look at my y'all, I didn't even look at my commission statements. Like I would just be like, oh, there's money. When you take ownership and really start looking at that, then you're a business owner.
Right. And a lot of the carriers will notify you about lapse pending. Some of them, like I think Corbridge, you have to go in and turn it on, but they do have the ability. And how do you find out? Just call the carrier. Like you should figure out what every carrier's process is when a policy lapse.
Yeah.
Don't just go into it blind because you will cost yourself thousands of dollars, or you'd save yourself thousands if you just paid more attention to it.
So another tip I have, when I first started in insurance, I was doing final expense one call close. And I'm so glad I started out that way. I'm really glad. I think a lot of people should start out that way and do. But I had, oh God, where was I going with that? God damn it, it just lost me. I've been talking too long. Y'all can edit this part out, right?
Oh, we're leaving this. This is how we're going to start the pod. We're going to open up. God damn it. Welcome to.
Oh, okay. I remember now. Sorry. I'm just talking so much. I lose stuff. So, because I start doing the weave. Okay, so when I first started in final expense, I was very salesy. I would try to, if they said, no, I don't want this, I'd make them want it. I was going to turn their mind around. I was going to, convince them that they needed this. And things changed really when I started doing mortgage protection, which is what I primarily do now. I'm not trying to convince you that you need this. I want to ask questions so you discover that you need this. I want to ask questions so you sell yourself that you need this. And that's hard. Yeah. That's a skill. That is a skill to do that, and it is hard. But once you learn it, you've got it.
Right.
But my chargebacks have gone down when people realize they need it rather than me telling them they need it. And that's just an evolution over time. Getting to that point where you, like I said earlier, it's a dance. Yeah. And I find that the people that my gut's saying, pull back, you're trying to convince them. When I get too convincing, that's going to be a chargeback. Oh, yeah. And we even have a saying on my team, like me and my sister will be like, I didn't want the chargeback. Sometimes you got to, no, it's not. It's an L. Like,
Right.
just take the
Yep.
L
Yep.
and move on.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want that. You might get that commission statement, but it's just coming out next week.
Right. Yeah, you're better off just walking away from it.
Yeah, just read the room, read the people, and find people that are telling you they see the value, and then close it. You know,
it's almost like people make me nervous when they're too good at sales, because you can sell them in that moment, but that's not what you need. You need to walk them through so they realize it themselves. Which that's why Sean used to say this all the time. Like, it's not sales. And you should look at it that way. It's we're taking orders. Now you may have to talk to them, and I don't say convince, just get them to get there mentally. You got to bring them back to that point that they were at when they requested information, whatever they did. They fill out the form, lead, however you're getting your prospects, but you got to bring them back to that. If we were cold calling and cold knocking and all that shit, then sure, you got to sell them. But you sold me when you got insurance for your husband. You filled it out somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't confused about you wanted it.
Yeah.
They just had to make sure not to screw it up. Ask the right questions, lead you along the way, and get you something that fits your budget and your needs.
And when you're pushing, it feels icky. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like when it feels icky, and when it doesn't. And I started feeling icky sometimes because I could convince them.
Yeah.
But, was it something they were really going to value? Was it something they were going to cut out later from their budget? I deeply believe in what we do and what we're doing for families. And if they don't align with that, it's just a matter of time. They're going to eventually be like, I need insurance. It's just, a matter of time of when.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been great, Mallory. I really appreciate you coming up doing this, and I really hope that you guys take this into consideration and look at your business. And really, part of it is like just owning it, some self-awareness as to, I'm here because of me, not because of the clients. Because you said this, so you could go down that route. I'll tell you what, Mallory, everyone I met with, they were just stupid. They didn't want it. No, you screwed something up, because they were interested when they filled out that form. They were interested when they answered the phone, when they booked the appointment with you. Then they were there, right? So they did all that. I mean, you tell us this. How many times were they not there when you call?
Yeah.
Was it about half?
When I did phone appointments?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We always say half will show, half will close.
So half the people didn't even show up.
Yeah.
So these people did all that. They went online. They filled something out. They answered. They booked the appointment. They were there. And then we introduced you to the picture. And now they don't want life insurance.
Yeah. It's the dance. It's knowing how to ask the right questions, and it's really the why. Because most people want to just get off the phone and move on, but there is interest there. You've got to draw that out of them. You've got to ask those questions that might seem a little invasive, but it's the why question. Since I specialize in mortgage protection, it's, well, let me ask you, what would happen if you were unable to work for 6 to 9 months?
Yeah.
And a lot of people go, oh, well, I don't know. Wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, how many months could you pay your mortgage if your income dried up? And a lot of them say 2 months. And I go, that's 8 weeks.
Right.
That's 8 weeks.
Yeah. So that's why you need this.
That's what I say in the phone.
Yep.
Yeah. And so just having those conversations and going a little bit deeper than what's comfortable, but at the same time, pulling, not pushing.
Right.
And so that's the dance.
That's huge.
But anyway, thank you for having me.
Well, good work. Appreciate you coming up doing this. Now you've done 3 podcasts,
I
right?
know.
Well, 2 of them were today.
Yes.
So you're a professional now. We should
Yeah.
switch seats. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your agents, and please look at your business and do what you can to increase your persistency, because in the long run, you're going to protect more clients, keep more money, and that should be the idea here. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.